Any recruiting nugs you can give our viewers and listeners today?
Yeah, so I woke up at 3:45 this morning. That's my first recruiting note. I don't know why. I was wide awake. And then my son comes in at like 4. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing waking up so early? And he looks at me. He's like, why are you up so early? I said, because I just got a text message from a 5-star that he's taking an official visit to Texas, and I got to get this up. So about 20 minutes later, we broke the news that Michael Fasusi would be taking a official visit to Texas on June 21st through the 23rd. That's a 5-star offensive tackle out of Louisville, Texas, 6'5", 300 range. Absolutely beautiful. A violent kid with great hands, moves his feet, does a lot of good things. Kyle Flood, Steve Sarkisian, Tashard Choice, Jeff Banks. This is a family recruitment. And the last time they came to Louisville, they came big. I think Texas brought 4 coaches to the school. They brought his dad. They had his dad come up there because with a lot of those families, those Nigerian families, it's a family decision. And Texas recognizes that. I think that's good because they're going to battle people. OU looks good right now. He loves Bill Bedenbaugh. LSU is in the mix. He's going to be down there for a visit soon. Missouri really, really showed him a good time in Columbia. He's going to probably go back there. And then Texas A&M, I think they're going to be able to jump in it late as well because of some of their hires. And so, but Michael Fasusi, to me, that was the biggest story. Him scheduling his official visit. He had hit me up pretty late, and I thought, you know what, we got to get this up. And so that was the biggest thing from the scoop. Eric dropped some really good stuff from the Woodlands yesterday at the 7-on-7. He was hanging out there. Jamie French, big-time wide receiver out of Florida, is coming into Texas for a visit. Marcus Harris still has his official visit in late June for Texas. I think Texas looks really good for the modern-day product. I've got a prediction out for him. A lot of good guys there. A lot of Andrew Marsh out of Katy Jordan, another priority receiver for Texas, high 4-star, just a really, really dynamic playmaker at receiver. They were all there. We added some of those notes in there. Elijah Barnes, he's got a visit schedule now. He'll be in Texas, in Austin, I believe April 6th. If I remember correctly, he's got about 5 or 6 schools he's going to see. We went ahead and put that up there as well. Texas still looks good. I think Johnny Nanson's doing a tremendous job. I watched Barnes at a track meet last weekend. And when you see a linebacker running the 4x1, the anchor at 230 pounds, buddy, that was impressive. And he's not catching Caden Durham. That's the speedster from Duncanville, that nationally ranked 4x1 relay. And he told me, look, I'm not catching Caden, but I'm going to try. And to me, that was the biggest thing in the world. And so, yeah, that was our scoop this morning. The only big note that I thought people needed to pay attention to was Anthony Williams. That's the commit out of Alvin Shadow Creek, edge linebacker kid, about 6'3.5", 190 pounds when he's wet and wearing boots. He's taking an unofficial to Texas A&M on March 30th. I caught up with him this morning. He said he just wants to enjoy the process a little bit. He hasn't gone anywhere else. He'd like to go see a few places. But he told me he is firmly entrenched in the Texas class of 2025, and he's in there as well. And so please go to InsideTexas.com and check out the scoop. It was loaded. Joe, Eric, and I, that was a loaded scoop this morning. We're going to keep delivering that. We'll have some even more stuff coming up later today and later in this week. I'll be on the road all week, and so I've got some spots I'm going to go see. I don't want to let it out of the bag where I'm going, but Texas recruiting is going to start picking up a little bit. I think they're about to hit their March stride where we get – I call it the alive period. You know, they call it the dead period when you can't recruit. Well, they should call it the alive period when you can. And so once that gets back up, I think we're going to see a lot more stuff go on. There's going to be a lot of recruits, guys, coming into to Texas leading up to the spring game. And they've got a big spring game roster as well. Check out the list we have at InsideTexas.com to keep you updated. We're putting new names on that thing on a regular. Michael Fasusi was the newest one. Official visit. That's the only official he has scheduled right now. He will take others, so don't sleep on that. But Texas is doing a great job. They just got to recruit through the whistle.
So spring ball starts, I think, 2 weeks from today after spring break. After spring break is over with. So there will be a laundry list of dudes passing through town, checking out what Texas is doing in those practices. Yes.
One guy Eric saw on Saturday, the top-rated quarterback in the 2026 class, Jared Curtis out of Nashville, Tennessee. He'll be coming through. Dia Bell, son of Raja Bell, former NBA guard that used to give Kobe Bryant hell. His son is a quarterback out of Florida, I believe somewhere in Tampa or somewhere in Florida. He's a quarterback. He's going to be on campus as well. There's a lot of guys that are going to be coming through on different weekends to check out spring practice. That's what most of these guys want to do. They want to see spring practice. They want to see a college practice. They want to see how it's ran. They want to see their position group. They want to see how guys are coached up. They want to see how the coaches react. I can't tell you how many times. I'll give you one example. Darian Gillette, during his recruitment out of Marlin, he went to Teague, but he actually played at Marlin. He liked Texas, he liked Alabama, he liked A&M, he liked LSU. When he went to Texas for a spring practice, that changed the dynamic of that recruitment. And I believe it was maybe 3 or 4 months later, he committed to Texas and was solid all the way through. So sometimes when these kids get to watch these practices and they watch their position coach, the guy they've been building a relationship with for a year, they watch how hard they coach these guys or how much they love on them or just how they react to these players. These kids notice that. And that's one reason I think Darian Gillette's a Longhorn, and I can't wait to see what kind of impression they make on these 2025 and 2026s.